Alright, so here we are again with round two of Weird Beer Review with Stuart and Joseph. So, today we've decided that we're going to review Lambrucha, which is a blend of lambic, which is in and of itself an incredibly strange style, with kombucha tea, which is a fermented Chinese tea that is in and of itself really, really sour and strange and weird. So, so far our review has consisted that the nose smells like either earthy potatoes that are raw or potato salad.
This is where many people are wrong when they say it doesn't matter what glass you serve the beer in. Out of this Founders KBS glass, it smells like raw baking potatoes with the dirt still on them. Out of this Unibrew semi-fluted glass, it smells more like cold potato salad. Out of Joseph's tulip glass, it smells more like you got cooked potatoes with steak sauce.
Yeah, I got kind of almost a baked potato with like A1. So it's interesting. So it's got this very kind of potatoey, earthy nose on it.
Like raw vodka. Vodka before it's vodka.
Yeah.
Pile of potatoes.
Then it gives way to this very, very intense, acrid sourness. Not the most sour I've ever had, but
it's sour, but it's not acid sour. So a lot of the lambic and the Geuze beers have this acidic, vinegary sourness to them. This has this kind of broad across the palate sourness without acidity, so it's kind of fusing the brain a little bit, because that level of sourness tends to be affiliated with more of a vinegar level of acidity, which you're not getting in this. It's odd.
Yeah. No, the bottom line, when we first got this beer in at Hop City, I saw it and I just knew for a fact that I had to buy it, because I've been a big fan of kombucha, which is a very fascinating product, and lambics are just fun to play with.
See the review of the Geuze Tilquin that we did previously.
Yeah, that was that was flat out weird. The weirdest beer that we've ever had, and let's see, I'm trying to see. It's also kind of a little bit of a fruity essence right between the middle and the finish, like a little bit of a sour cherry, just the barest of hints.
Yeah, I get where you're getting that more kind of typical lambic, really intensely sour, cherry, fruity, kind of across the middle of the palate almost. It's quite wonderfully odd. Well, you don't expect to have a beer that smells like a dirt-covered baking potato before you cook it.
Yeah. There's almost a in the finish kind of a that kind of earthiness and sourness kind of comes together to produce a not quite a celery, but you know, kind of water chestnut, maybe that kind of earthy earthy cleanness, maybe kimchi, but without the spice.
Kimchi without the spice, or maybe like the floury skin of a brie, without the rich butteriness that kind of had that brie skin, floury, earthy, slightly. It's a funky beer.
Yeah, no, it's full of the funk.
It's full of the funk. It's going to work with cheeses like bries and camemberts anyway. It'd be very interesting to put this up against a really intense blue. I think blue cheese
that could go very well or go very wrong. We've had experience with that before.
We've had experience when it goes wrong, so we might want to have the barf buckets to hand.
Yeah, no, let's see. Yeah, if for your viewers' information, never, ever, ever, ever pair the Unitas barley wine with a Stilton.
It will go badly wrong, and no, we're not just saying this to be funny. If you're silly enough to get the Unitas barley wine with a Stilton, either do it on a tile floor or have a barf bucket to hand.
Yeah, we surmised that it was the Unitas barley wine with the Stilton cheese was moldy New York dumpster.
Of a moldy New York City dumpster
in summertime. It was quite awful. But no, this is far better than that. It's nowhere near as weird as the Tilquin.
The Tilquin is really, really wonderfully peculiar. This is just more kind of odd.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, it's the more you sip on it, the more it just becomes pleasantly kind of earthy and sour. It's I think it'd be this beer would be a very good tool to educate people on how the sourness and earthiness in beers can come out, and how they play well with foods and in certain settings.
You could probably use this beer straight up in a vinaigrette. Instead of vinegar, use this beer as the tart acidic component to your vinaigrette dressing.
Oh yeah.
And then thoroughly confuse wine drinkers, because gasp, wine with vinegar is going to go horribly wrong, whereas here you're building everything from the ground up from the beer.
Yeah, I think depending on what you put in your salad, I think it would really highlight a lot of the earthiness that comes out in certain vegetables, and the acidity would play off well against any inherent sweetness that you would have in a given vegetable. I think using this as a vinaigrette in a salad with a lot of cucumber and tomato would go well, where those are more heavily favored.
I'd be tempted to go more for peppery arugula, or some of those green salad mesclun stuff you see in the mesclun, where it's like fennel, so you get a lot of kind of those peppery, more assertive, more aggressive flavors coming through, because this is so pungent and so earthy. It would really play off that, and I'd take a break from my usual tradition. With one of those pungent peppery salads with this beer, I would go with a blue cheese dressing, because you'd have earthy and pungent, and the acidity and the earthiness and the pungency in this would go with those kind of peppery, funky aromatics from the blue cheese, and the pepperiness from the salad as well.
Maybe not a blue cheese, but maybe some blue cheese crumbles.
Blue cheese crumbles,
yeah,
or just lots and lots of feta. There's nothing wrong with lots of feta.
It's definitely every bit as funky as I thought that it would be, which I definitely appreciate. It just further goes to show that in the world of beer you can go very, very strange places. So, there you have it. The Lambrucha from Van Berg and De Wolf. Blend of lambic and kombucha. Very tasty stuff. Definitely not for the novice, but if you're looking for something yet again that's will take you into a strange place, you could do far, far worse than this. So, thanks for watching.